Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Empower Her podcast. My name is Dr. Aruna Barsani. Today, we have a very special guest in house. His name is Daniel. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Aruna, for having me. And just as you've heard, my name is Daniel Chirima. I reside in the informal settlements of Majengo, and I am a male advocate for menstrual health and also dealing a lot with community initiatives for community empowerment, not only in the informal settlements of Majengo, but throughout Kenya. So thank you very much for having me here this day.
Our pleasure. Daniel, let's talk about, because we have some journey together, isn't it? When you first came to know us as advocating for menstrual health and hygiene, what was your expectation or what was your reaction to it?
The first engagement I had with you, I'd actually say it was wholesome in a way. Because I think I really wanted you to be part of our journey and part of our community in such a detrimental time that we were facing as a community. And the main reason I'm saying this is the moment we were facing what we call period poverty in our area. You know, most often when people get to hear about period poverty, it's a thing they just hear. But the moment you get to live in the informal settlements, that's when you get to see at first-hand experience what this all means. Personally, I've been dealing with a lot of young girls. Even at the moment, there is a project we work with young teen moms from the age of 16 years to 24 years. And we're trying to look at their lifestyle. How are they impacted as life goes on, as years goes by? And one of the impact that we've come to realize is that period poverty is real. It's not just something that is written on the paper or something that is just there hanging. Yeah. It is something that our girls are really facing on the daily. And just to shed light on the real idea or the real thing that happens in our informal settlements, I engage with a girl, and most of the time they'd come and tell me, you know what, I didn't have money to buy sanitary products. And what happens most often, they indulge in what we call transactional sex. And transactional sex, it's not only one girl that I've heard who came and told me that they've been going through all that just for them to have basic need, basic necessity, just a sanitary towel. So the moment you came to my community and also introduced the reusable sanitary towel, I'd say it was a life changer in a way. Because in a way, most often we used to have our pad banks. And the pad banks that we used to have, it was a one-time thing. So each month a girl would come, and the consequence or the dangers to that is that there are some months, of course, we didn't have them. But the moment we introduce our girls to the reusable sanitary towels, in a way, it came even few months, we'd never see them in our offices. In a way, we were sad because we were very happy having those one-on-one engagements with them, getting to know how you're faring on and all that. But now there is a pause, but it is a beautiful pause because there is change and transformation that came along with introducing the reusable sanitary towels in our community.
Okay, so which topic is normalized in an area where you come from, sexual health or menstrual health?
Sexual health has been normalized in a way, but again, there is a shift. A shift in having the conversation for menstrual health.
Yes.
And I love it that this shift at the moment that I'm currently seeing is not only a shift for the women. So had it been when I was growing up, there was a lot of exclusion any moment we had conversation in regards to monthly periods. So you'd see boys were not even allowed to be in spaces where girls were talking about issues of menstruation. I personally, when I was young, there were moments whereby we'd see mentors coming at our school and then they'd say, we're having a session for the girls' child and you boys go away.
Yeah.
So that has always been the lifestyle. But at the moment, I think there is a change, or rather a shift that I am currently seeing. And I'd say this shift has come along with the realization that this is not just a girl's journey.
Yeah.
It is a community journey. And by saying it is a community journey, I'm speaking on the idea when a woman is going through her monthly period, number one, we'd understand that there is something that happens even emotionally.
Yeah.
So if I, as a man, I may not understand how to handle with a girl when she is going through her monthly period, what will I do? I will push them away. And when I push them away, then we are rubbing shoulders. Yet, if we could really understand, I get to know that, yes, Aruna probably, yes, goes through her monthly period, and as she goes through her monthly period, this is how she takes her process in the monthly period, then I support you. So that shift, I think, is a shift that has been brought along with the idea that we don't need to push the boys away.
Yeah.
We need them to be part of the conversation, because we are looking forward to have communities whereby both the men and the women, we can live together in harmony. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And it's important to bring this conversation as a norm. And we say, when you talk about period poverty, it's not always not having sanitary towels. The poverty is about not having conversations around this, not having enough education around this topic. And I normally generalize this as, and that's what the period poverty is. A mother is not talking to the daughter about her menstrual cycle. A teacher is not sharing, elaborating in that topic when it comes to the syllabus. These are all the poverty areas. I wouldn't say only poverty not having money, isn't it?
And I think I actually agree with you, because when we speak about the idea of poverty, we're speaking about lack.
Yes.
So what are we lacking? What are the actual gaps that are there when we have conversation about period poverty? And it's beautiful. And just by what you've said, you've actually reminded me of even the taboos that are actually involved when we are speaking about issues of menstrual health. I'd give a good example, because some of the conversation that I do, I engage with so many young people, women, my family member, and I come from a very religious background. And coming from a religious background, we see that our cultural setup, our religious ideologies, or even our backgrounds where we've been brought up in, there is a way it shapes how we look on this issue about menstrual health. I won't fear to say this example is for my younger sister, whom I love so much. She's called Amani. So recently, we are very close, and she comes. Any issue she has concerning her menstruation, she comes and shares with me. Yo, I've been experiencing this. Yo, I've been feeling this. And I think it also comes from the idea of creating rather a safe space that I can literally hear her out. And not only hear her out, she also feels safe in that moment. No judgment. Let me hear you. Whatsoever. If it is shady in a way, if that story doesn't resonate with me, I will still give her that ear, because it's her own experience. So recently she just came and told me, I've been told I'm not supposed to go to church
when she's menstruating.
And then I was like, who told you that? That was my idea. Who told you that? And then she told me, my friend told me, because I am in my monthly periods, I'm not supposed to be going to church. And ideally, these are some of the religious aspects which I'd say they are there. But these are things that there are some educations that are ongoing at the moment to destigmatize all these issues of menstruation. And I told her, those are lies. Even when you go to read the scriptures personally from a Christian perspective, that is, there is no place like that. And I'd want to assume most of the things that people believe when we speak about menstruation or even a monthly period, they come from a point of knowledge gap. And I think that's why you're doing an amazing work. So let me commend you for that.
Thank you. Because when I go to the field, the 90% my training is on about menstrual health and hygiene, even introduction to the menstrual cycle itself. And without that, I said, I'm not going to hand out any sanitary towels, because only 10% you are solving that poverty or that support by providing pads. The 90% is education.
Exactly.
And that has to be done by every one of us. So what is your input when we talk about Ministry of Health, what they should be doing in this sector?
I think the Ministry of Health, there is also a high need of provision. In as much as, yes, we're talking about the knowledge gap, I'd assume others entirely know that I'm not supposed to engage in transactional sex. That is correct.
Yeah.
But now, in as much as they have all this idea, the reality comes in, they're not in a position to get these resources. And I think it is the highest time that even the Ministry of Education should stop looking at short-term solutions.
Yes.
And in terms of short-term solution, I think the whole world at the moment is having conversation on climate change. And we all know, this is not just, it's not just I personally selling the manifesto for Together for Better, but it is the reality. It is the reality that when our girls dispose that 1 time reusable sanitary towel, it takes almost 500 years to decompose.
Yes.
And what does that do to our environment? It spoils our environment. We live at an environment that is not healthy. But I think if we could, the Ministry of Health could really invest a lot even in the reusable sanitary towel, I think that would be a game changer, because they're not just providing a one-time solution for our girls, but a long-term solution. And I think it would be the best thing that they can ever do.
Okay, what will be your message to our audience, being in a leader sector, being into the educating on menstrual health and hygiene, being a man also and advocating for the menstruation? What will be your message to our audience, what they need to do? A
message I would pass out there for everyone is that period is not just a one gender conversation. That's one. It's not just one gender conversation. Just like I said throughout the interview, when our girls are affected, all of us in one way or another are affected. And I think for the men out there, it is the highest time that even for us, if we are not included, I don't advocate for force, but we can also ask for spaces in those spaces. Like when we have conversation about periods anywhere in your society, be vibrant. Just be ready to go and say, I am a man, but I also want to learn what goes on. And maybe just a challenge that I would like to pass to the men out there, especially let me pass a message to the men because I am a man. Get to know either your mother, either your sister, either your girlfriend, or either your wife. When are they going through their monthly period? Decide this time round, if you're going through your monthly period, if you cannot purchase the reusable for them, just purchase the sanitary towel for them. You can also get to learn how to put it on. It is not a taboo for a man to take sanitary towel and put it on a pant. It is okay as a man. So let us break all the stereotypes that are revolving, all the stereotypes, the ideologies that are there concerning concerning periods, and let us become the advocates as ourselves. And becoming advocates is becoming practical advocates, and that practicality comes with us being there. Provide the necessities for our girls, and if we cannot provide, at least let us give them our ears. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, for being in her shoes.
Asante sana.
Thank you.